Okay then, so what's the best way to go about coming up with a problem for you to solve? I'm gonna give you a banger on this one. And this requires what I would call the PhD level of AI usage. Because I don't want you to go solve a problem with a tool that everyone else has access to. I want you to solve a problem for a specific avatar. The more granular you get with the person that you're solving the problem for, the easier it's going to be for you to come up with a great solution to a pain point in a problem. This is hands down the smartest way for you to come up with your product selection ideas and to pick a niche. And we're going to do it with the power of AI. And we're not going to recreate the wheel. We're just going to use the OG, ChatGPT. Now, I know a lot of you have probably already gone through ChatGPT and asked questions like, give me a list of things that I can sell on Amazon to people because I'm trying to come up with an idea for my product or for my niche. That's so generic, and it's going to get you a generic response. You're no better off doing that than you'd be if you got on Jungle Scout and said, what product should I list? That's using ChatGPT at a middle school level. And so what I want to teach you how to do is how to use ChatGPT at a PhD level. So how do we make that happen? I'm going to go back and forth to my computer on this one and share my screen because I want to show you a system that you can use to come up with an endless supply of product ideas that solve problems for people. And we're going to use ChatGPT to make that happen. But first things first, think about the avatar of the person whose problem you're trying to solve. Who shops a lot on Amazon? Well, you can come up with a million different avatars of people. Maybe it's stay-at-home moms. Maybe it's a business owner of a manufacturing facility. It could be anything. But who do we want to solve the problem for? If we don't know the answer to that, then coming up with the problem is going to be very difficult for us. Again, that's the recipe for analysis paralysis. But the more that we can dig down and get surgical with who we're solving the problem for, the better we're going to be at coming up with our ideas. Now, the great thing about using ChatGPT for this is that you don't have to be creative. ChatGPT can be creative for you. Now, this is exactly what I did years ago when I came up with my solution to a problem for my specific avatar. Back then we didn't have ChatGPT, so I did all of this manually, but this is the way for us to fast track the process that I did now in 2024, where you can do this process so much faster. Now, you guys all know that I made my claim to fame on Amazon selling the little soaps and shampoos you get into your hotel room. Back in 2016, 2017, you couldn't find that not in bulk. It was only sold 300 at a time or 1,000 bar soaps at a time. And so I didn't do anything innovative at all. All I did was come up with a solution based off an avatar that I knew was having a problem. So I knew a lot of Airbnb owners. And those Airbnb owners were trying to find a way to get the same types of products that hotels offered to their guests, but in a much smaller quantity. They wanted 10 little shampoos. They wanted 10 little lotions. And nobody was solving that problem for them. So what did I do? I thought about it from the perspective of the avatar whose problem I wanted to solve. I knew that they had a pain point, and that pain point was a desire to offer those little soaps and shampoos to their guests. So the pain point is there, but now what do I do with this pain point? So I had to sit there and start brainstorming from the perspective of this persona that I knew had a problem, and what could I do to solve that problem? So here was my solution. I took 15 bar soaps, 15 shampoos, 15 conditioner, 15 lotion, 15 body wash. I put them all into a single box. And that was my first SKU that I ever launched on Amazon. And by doing that, I solved two pain points for them. Number one, they wanted to offer these items to their guests the same way as hotels. Couldn't find a solution to do it in lower quantities. But I also knew that they didn't have a lot of storage space in their house. And a lot of these Airbnbs have one closet that has to have toilet paper and paper towels and the little amenities for the bathroom. Everything, the cleaning supplies, all had to go inside that one closet. They didn't have a lot of storage space. So they were willing to pay more to have their problem solved, and I could charge a convenience tax on top of the cost of the product because I'm solving multiple problems for them by kitting those items together into one set. Now, say what you will about the solution today, because a lot of people are now offering the same thing. But here's what happens. When you solve the problem, you get first mover advantage. First mover advantage allows you to have pricing power so you can charge what you want for that product. And when everybody copies you, you innovate to the next thing. But this is the magic. You're thinking from the perspective of your ideal customer. You create an avatar for your ideal customer. Now, I did that all manually in my mind. You can do that with the power of ChatGPT, but it starts by getting surgical on who you're solving the problem for. So let's go over to my computer. I'm going to show you a list of questions that if you can answer these questions and you can fill out this list, we can actually create this avatar inside ChatGPT for you for the customer whose problem you're going to solve. So this is actually from the mind of a man named Stormy Daniels who built the best buyer persona, but there's applications for you to use this for your Amazon product selection. So think about it this way. We're going to name our persona. We're going to give the persona an age, an income, a title. So all the demographic information just to get started of who is this buyer. And then we're going to go through and talk about what problems and pain points they actually have. So as we fill this out, it's what situation do they have that needs to be resolved? What do they actually want? So what are their goals related to the problem that they're actually having? And then we start to get deeper and deeper into it of, well, what problems has this situation caused for them? And these problems lead to what emotions? See, we're getting down where it hurts for the customer. We're understanding those pain points. This isn't just important for now to pick the product. It's also important when we go to market this product on Amazon and elsewhere because we understand the emotions of this person. What emotion on Maslow's hierarchy of needs? This is great for ChatGPT to know. It's going to help them understand the why behind it. Okay, action beliefs. What do they believe they're going to gain if they take action to resolve the situation? And then the pain. What do they believe will happen if they don't take any action? Triggering events is so important. What just happened to this avatar that makes them want to go look for a new solution? If you understand why someone is looking for something new or why someone is coming onto Amazon in the first place to make a purchase, you'll be able to market directly to those triggering events to make your product stand out as a solution for what they're looking for. Okay, what noise are they seeing in the marketplace that may have an influence on the situation? And then what are they being told or hearing? If you can answer all of these questions about your avatar, and then we can feed that information into ChatGPT, now the magic can begin because now we can start to have a conversation. This should take you hours to do. I've already done one. I'm just going to import mine in so you can see how this works. But if you spend enough time in this process, really understanding your customer, this separates you from 99% of the other sellers who are on Amazon who are just making products. You're not just making a product. You are looking for problems that a specific avatar has and then making products to solve that problem. This is so important. And the more time you spend understanding your customer, the better your product is going to be at solving that customer's problem. So a couple of things here. If you know your customer really well, the way that I knew vacation rental managers, you don't have to talk to anyone. Just come and fill this thing out. But if you don't know your customer that well, it might behoove you to hop on the phone with someone who may be your ideal customer and just ask them these questions. Have them fill this out for you. If you're in my case, call up a vacation rental manager and say, hey, what are the issues that you're facing? What do you really want? Why do you want it? And what are the potential solutions that are out there to that problem today? Now, I don't want you to come at this having a product already in mind. I want you to come in a more general, broad sense, because then you'll be able to ask this avatar what problems they need help solving and then come up with product ideas based off of that. So focus in on an avatar first. Build out a persona for that avatar. You're going to come back to this time and time again as you go through your Amazon journey to this avatar to ask it questions about what you do next. Okay, so I've already filled out an avatar that goes back to the avatar I tried to solve a problem for back in 2016 when I started this business on Amazon in the first place. I'm going to copy and paste that in here, and I want to show you what this looks like when it's all filled out. So I've named my avatar Time-Strapped Aaron. He's 35 years old, makes $55,000 a year, and Aaron is a vacation rental manager. When you get that specific with it, and now we understand how much money Aaron makes, we already understand how old Aaron is, and we're defining the title that Aaron has. Then I go deep into this, and I won't read all this to you. You can go through it yourself. What situation needs to be resolved? What does Aaron want? What are the problems that he's having? And what problems could be solved for this specific avatar. Now all I'm going to do is take this information and I'm going to copy and paste it into ChatGPT. Okay, here in ChatGPT, I just told it I'm going to give you some information on a persona and I want you to act like that persona so I can ask you some questions. Then all I'm going to do is paste in the information from that persona and I'm going to say, let me know when you're ready. ChatGPT is pretty damn smart. So now it has all this information and it's telling you, feel free to ask your questions and I'll respond like I'm time-strapped Aaron. Anytime I want to talk to time-strapped Aaron now, I can come to ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to have a conversation with time-strapped Aaron. And guess what's going to happen? ChatGPT acts like time-strapped Aaron. Imagine how powerful this is. No companies do this. Everyone guesses at what their customers' problems are, and then they set out to start making solutions and start advertising and put tens of thousands of dollars into marketing towards problems that they don't actually know exist. If you spent the time up front, planned ahead, and actually deep dived into your customer, you could actually solve real problems for them and know that when you start marketing on Amazon or anywhere else, that you're solving your customers' pain points. So if I come to ask this avatar a question now, I've given it all the context of what this avatar is having issues with and how they feel about it, what's important to them. For this avatar, he cares about getting 5-star reviews. That's going to help him get more guests. It's going to help him charge more for the Airbnb. It's going to help him have a better relationship with the person he manages that property for. And so I can speak to those pain points now and ask, hey, what are the problems that you're having? Well, he's telling me all the problems that he has. And then based on these problems, I can then ask questions like, okay, what products can I make now as a private label for Amazon that would specifically solve your problems? Now we start to play around and get ideas that everyone is not getting because we're talking to a specific avatar. Now, you need to become a great prompt engineer in ChatGPT. You don't need me to tell you how to do that. You can watch plenty of YouTube videos to learn how to do that. But the better you are at prompting ChatGPT, once you've built this persona, the better the product ideas are going to be that you get. Do you see how you don't have to be creative? At any given time now, you can go in and make a persona or any number of personas, a panel of personas if you want, and ask ChatGPT to take the panel of 5 personas that you made and help you come up with product ideas for that. Creativity, gone. Analysis paralysis, gone. Now you're leveraging AI with customer pain points and a specific avatar in mind that you're working with in order to create products and to select products for your Amazon operation. Now, I'm going to reference this avatar time and time again throughout this course because when you've really nailed down the avatar, everything else becomes a lot easier because you can just ask questions to your avatar. When it comes to making your listing, go ask your avatar. When it comes to figuring out pricing, go ask your avatar. You can even ask your avatar, hey, what objections are you going to have to my product so I can make sure that I'm handling those objections both in the marketing and on the Amazon listing page itself. I hope you see how powerful this is because this is the step that so many people skip. They don't want to worry about who they're making the product for. They just want to make the product. They just want to make a little gadget that's a little bit unique to them or just slap their logo onto a product that is solving whose problem they don't even know. The thought process of solving a problem for someone in the first place, that's what's going to make you successful or not successful. And 99% of people who come into private label and want to just launch a product are not going through a process like this. They're starting with data, they're starting with numbers, and they're just randomly picking a product and they hope it works out. That's why so many people have lost $10,000 in Amazon. That's why Amazon FBA is such a scammy thing right now because so many people have lost money doing it because they're not being taught how to prepare. They're not being taught how to plan. They're being taught how to bump a product out. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And I hope that if you take nothing away from this course but this, it's that the planning and preparation that you do in the beginning has everything to do with whether or not you're successful. So I'm going to link these questions that you should ask in the questionnaire right here below this video. What I want you to do is download that and use that to actually make your persona. Fill out that questionnaire. Do the same thing I did. Upload that into ChatGPT and then tell it to act like your persona.